Hello, welcome to Day One Pass Podcast, episode 205. I'm your host, Ryan Johnson. Adrian Petty.
Hi.
Matt Lawrence.
What's going on?
Marty's dead.
Yeah, shot him.
You can't shoot him every time.
What do you mean? You reopen old wounds. Literally.
Oh, okay.
That sounds worse. That sounds really bad.
So, it's that time of week when we read a late show fun fact.
No, it isn't.
With
Vote
David
now on the
Letterman.
Twitter where
So,
you don't want this.
These are a little outdated, just a bit. But this one says, Governor Schwarzenegger devotes an hour of each Wednesday to helping California residents with jars they can't open.
Oh.
Thank you, Matt. In the last 10 years, there have been more emails about penis enlargement than in the previous 10 centuries combined.
Oh, yes.
See, that one might be true.
Yeah.
And they were all to Matt for some reason.
Don't you be pointing at me, looking at me, and talking about me.
An embarrassed David Blaine once had to call AAA when he locked his keys in his car. There you go. There's your
Yeah,
late
put
show,
that-
there's your
put that
late
book-
show fun fact.
Put the book back in the drawer
Oh,
along
it's
with your
really good.
AirPods there. And
I got a good joke for you, Matt. What's a pirate's favorite letter?
is it R?
Just- No, 'tis the sea.
Adrian was laughing.
Thank
I'm just
you.
looking at you, stone faced. Stone Cold Steve Austin face.
I knew it was going to be so stupid. Like, you knew how stupid it was going to be, but you still can't help it. Oh, man.
All right, so this week, finally getting some E3 news. Although it's the typical stuff that they always say. We got a great show with new announcements and crap like that, but we'll talk a bit about it. And we got some scheduling for the conferences. Some people want Fortnite banned for brainwashing loved ones.
Woo! Ban it! Ban it!
We got PS5 rumors. Matt thinks a bit early. I don't think it's that early.
It is early.
I think it's early.
It is early.
And clearly, it did not save the adjustments I made to this title here because they were massive.
They probably didn't. Wait, how you looking at it on your phone? Through what?
Office, like the Word app, Microsoft Word.
You went into the Google Drive and sent it to your Word app?
No, we
What the
saved
heck are you
the
doing?
documents in the Google Drive,
Yeah.
and I opened it up in the Google Drive.
With what app?
Google Drive,
With Google Drive. So you're looking at
not the app, yeah, not the Word app.
Yeah. Okay. Unless your Google app is just taking an old version. Unless it didn't take the most recent
We'll
one.
see what happens, I guess. But microtransactions are returning to Star Wars Battlefront 2. So we'll be talking a bit about that. All right, what's new, guys? What's happening? Adriano?
I'm trying tea.
Oh, how is it?
Good.
How good, though?
It does. It actually tastes like
Does it taste like coffee?
coffee.
Wow.
This particular flavor. So that might be a way for me to get into tea.
Well, it's dandelion tea, which I think is what makes it coffee tasting, right?
Yeah, that's what they said. Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. What else is new?
But what started this tea trend? Why do you want to?
At several points in my life, I've always tried to
Get
transition
into
into tea. I've never been able to do it. So now I'm trying again. It's like every half decade I give it a go.
Put on your best hipster beanie and scarf and go down to David's Tea.
No, he needs a messenger bag with a MacBook in it.
Or that, yeah.
Yeah.
You got the iPhone though. That works. That
Yeah.
gets you in.
No, whoa, no, it doesn't.
It
Gets
does.
you get a looky-loo. You get to look through and go like, oh man, I wish I was in there. And you gotta go to the App Store and
All
go
right.
to the App Store.
The
Go to the
Apple
Apple Store and pick up your MacBook.
Yeah. A pink one.
A pink one, yeah.
Yeah.
Rose gold.
Rose gold one, yeah.
What else is new besides me drinking tea? Not much. Playing. Oh wait. So Overwatch expansion came out.
Mm-hmm.
The Retribution event. We've been playing that. That's all.
I equate that to Left 4 Dead.
The event or
Yeah,
the mode.
the PvE. Like I get a very Left 4 Dead vibe from it. It's not zombies, but I get that vibe.
You just run into an area and
Yeah,
killing
let's-
stuff.
We should play Left 4 Dead. Also, Hearthstone
Ugh.
released its latest expansion.
Have you played it?
Oh yeah.
Is it
Well, it's a new deck of cards.
okay?
135 new cards, and I ran into the problem I ran into every time there's a new expansion is I use all my dust to make the mage cards I want. So then I have a mage deck that I want, but now I have no more dust to make any of the other decks for any of the other classes that I want. So now I don't have any more cards. So now I'm back to grinding through quests to get coin, to buy decks, or to buy packs to make decks, to play more quests.
That's too much.
No, it's no different
It's
from
too
any
much
other
for
card
me.
game in history.
No, that's fine. I don't play card games long.
Oh, Hearthstone's so good.
I just deleted it
I know why.
because it was too many gigabytes on my phone.
It
Why?
updates too frequently.
And I have
with
like
big updates too.
And what size is your phone?
128.
Mine's 32, and I keep Hearthstone is like a standard issue on my phone in the App Store, in the Apple Store when I get my new refurbished phone every couple months because that's the first thing I do. I download on the Wi-Fi. So Hearthstone comes back on. I need that.
I'll be getting the 256 next time I upgrade.
Then you can get Hearthstone back.
I haven't played it though. That's the other reason.
Why?
I don't find it fun anymore
Oh,
Why the hell do you need 256 gigs on a phone?
because I have a 128 that's used up.
How the hell do you use 128 gigs on a phone?
I don't know, but I also want to put more movies on here, and I can't do that because this phone's full.
What are you putting movies on
you
there
have an
for?
iPad.
I
That's
want to
what.
put movies on there.
That's what
the
an
iPad,
iPad.
the iPad's slow. I'm hoping to get a new one this year too. When they announce new ones,
But why? Why do you want a new iPad?
because I use my iPad and I want a new one because my current one is slow.
But then you have a MacBook.
Yeah, like what's going on here?
It's the ecosystem. It's the Apple ecosystem.
Yeah, but like I feel like okay, out of your
Okay, here's the thing. I do.
all right,
I do
Apple Watch,
Yeah.
iPhone, iPad, MacBook, and iMac,
an Apple TV.
and Apple TV. Okay, but ignore the Apple TV. Apple Watch, iPhone, iPad, MacBook, and your Mac.
What do I have to kill? Is that what you're gonna say?
3 out of the 5. You can only have 3 of those out of the 5 for the rest of your life. Which ones?
iPhone.
The watch is going clearly. Clearly, the watch is getting cut because it's just redundant.
It's a little redundant, but I like it. So you mean of all my products I currently own?
No, just the 5 that I listed. The Apple Watch,
Apple Watch,
iPhone, iPad, MacBook, and your Mac. You only have 3 of those.
Ooh.
3 of the 5. Which ones? Because there's so much overlap on those devices. Like you don't need a Mac and a MacBook.
I'd say phone is
You don't need an
no-brainer.
iPad and an iPhone.
I'm gonna vote on what you're gonna say.
I think I would tell you which ones I would take.
But okay, but you're trying to say that's redundant. But having a desktop and a laptop,
It's pretty
everyone
redundant.
does that. That's not redundant. You need a mobile device that can do work.
But but that mobile device can also be just your mobile device can be your device. Is like your MacBook is probably now faster than that tower. Over
Yeah.
there. Yeah. So why would you why are you using that to record a podcast? You should just have your MacBook down there now recording it.
I could, but this is here. This is stationary. It's always set up. I don't have to do anything with it.
I mean, it is convenient.
You still haven't answered my question.
And
3
it
out of
has
the 5.
it has the storage as well,
You haven't
which
answered
my
my
MacBook
question.
does not have.
You haven't answered my question. The 3 out of the 5.
I can say what would go. Okay, I think Matt's right. The Apple Watch probably could go.
Really, I'd keep it.
Just logistically, the
It's
Apple Watch is
unnecessary.
redundant.
It's nice. I can activate Siri from my watch and I pull up my phone or whatever. That's nice. Notifications on it are nice, but you don't need it.
I'd say iPad's going next.
See, that's tricky.
Because why do you need an iPad? What do you do on your iPad that you can't do comfortably on a MacBook, for example?
Or no, on your iPad. In fact, you could do more on your iPhone probably than you can on your iPad.
Only because my current iPad is old, so I only use it for.
But I find apps that are on the I find that there are apps on the iPhone that are not on the iPad.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like so like there's like more selection on your iPhone iOS than your iPad iOS.
Correct.
This is what I would have.
Okay. Wait. I made a final decision.
Okay.
And any way you go, something's redundant, right? But if I can only have 3 of those 5 you listed, it would be MacBook, my Mac Pro, and my phone.
Really?
Yeah.
I would get rid of the Mac Pro. I'd get rid of your Mac Tower over there and switch with the Apple Watch. I get Apple Watch, iPhone.
I don't know
Mac-
if that's equivalent
MacBook.
value, to be honest. Like, could you getting rid of a tower computer, like a desktop?
That specific
For a
one over
watch,
there,
though?
That specific one over there versus his MacBook.
No, he's comparing it to the watch.
I'm comparing it to the watch.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, you would substitute it for the watch. The watch is redundant.
No, but the watch is another device. Like to me, the watch is another device in which has its own separate app. Like it has
No, it doesn't.
has separate apps on there, and it has
But
like
it needs the phone.
it needs a phone. But the iPhone needed a computer. You needed an iTunes to operate when it first got it. That eventually was phased out. Okay, to me. The Mac Tower and the MacBook is redundant. You don't need both of these. You pick one. The iPad and the iPhone are redundant. You don't need both. You pick
And
one.
the Apple Watch and the iPhone are redundant.
Not to me. See, to me,
That's
I'd
incredible.
see. To me, I would get more use out of the Apple Watch
But
Because-
what can the Apple Watch do that your phone can't?
For me, I'm in a job where I can't always pull out my phone.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm not allowed. I'm not necessarily allowed to pull it out at certain times. That Apple Watch would allow me to operate my phone with notifications and see certain things that me pulling on my phone wouldn't allow.
Do you need to see those things at work?
I would very much like to see those things.
But if they're saying you don't need your phone on the floor,
No. They say they're not saying that I don't need my phone on the floor.
you can't
they
look
say
at
they
it,
don't
so-
want me to have my phone on the floor. I know I need my phone on the floor.
okay, but they would prefer you not look at your phone on the floor.
Yes.
So it might as well not be in your pocket at all. Correct?
No, but I do have it on the phone, and I do have it on the floor, and I do take it out. I go against the rules. What I'm saying,
What I'm
though-
saying is the rules are saying you shouldn't have it. You're saying I do it anyway.
Yeah.
That's why I need an Apple Watch.
So therefore, even your
But
watch
me
is
having an Apple
redundant.
Watch would not have me violate the rules. Like I'd be like, hey, my phone's in my pocket. I can now do exactly what I
But
want to do
this
while
is
honoring your rules.
This is a classic Adriano use case scenario where it's only explicit to you.
That's fine, but for me, I
And
don't-
also, you just explained a workaround which you're currently using.
what do you mean?
You're breaking the rule. Like you're using the rule as the reason to have the watch, but you're breaking the rule
You pull out
without,
your phone
without consequence.
regardless. Yeah.
So why have the watch?
Because they say,
Get the algebra equation going here.
listen, my logic makes sense to me.
Holy God!
But I see your point. You really only need two devices. Some sort of desktop, laptop, computer, and an iPhone.
Yeah,
But I have them all.
that's fine.
And I want a new iPad because it's slow. And it's not running the current operating system either.
I'm way worse with the redundant devices.
Why would you got?
I have a gaming.
I've seen
laptop.
your fucking table of cell phones just lined
Yeah,
up.
I have a gaming. Well, okay. Well, in commission, because like a lot of those are older phones. In commission, I have a desktop computer, a gaming laptop, a thin and light laptop. I have an iPad.
You don't use that, though. Is that still in commission?
Yeah, I still use that.
You still use
occasionally.
that?
Yeah, so that's why
That thing has-
that's why it's beside the couch.
That thing has to be slow.
Yeah, but it's just like browsing.
And my brother has the same one. It's fucking. I
Just
I
like
had to
Reddit.
dump stuff onto his iPad the other day. It was painful.
But even browsing the web is tough on mine.
Nah, I'm just on Reddit, like whatever.
Hmm.
Like it's not a big deal. I have that. I have an Asus ZenWatch 2.
His iPad's
I have a phone.
His iPad's a non-Retina display.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an iPad Mini.
But we did a benchmark test for games. My iPad has a quad-core graphics processor and a Retina display. Mass does not have either of those, but his beat mine.
Yeah,
I think simply because it has to push less pixels.
yeah, probably, absolutely. That just makes sense.
Yeah, which is hilarious though.
It's pretty good.
The new iPad Pros are nice though. I'm surprised you returned yours.
Because again, I just found it redundant. Just like I don't need both of these devices. Why would I pick up a bigger, bulkier device that can do less than a device?
Because you're really just doing it for screen real estate.
Yeah, but screen real estate is never like. Remember, I'm the guy who had a fucking iPhone 5 for 3.5
Yeah.
years, and that like I was okay. The
You
only reason
have a Plus now though. Can you go back to a regular iPhone?
I probably, if I absolutely had to,
But do you want to?
I don't want to, but I probably could. If they said we're going to downsize back to the candy bar size phones, I could probably go back down to that size.
So let's say you're upgrading this year. The rumor is they're coming out with a 6.5-inch iPhone 10.
What is the current size?
I don't know the size, but it's smaller than that.
Okay.
Which one would you choose? I can get the actual size if you want. I can probably find it.
A 6.5-inch iPhone 10?
Yeah.
But
It's a bigger
you've
iPhone
held
10.
the iPhone 10 before, right?
I haven't held. Like I've seen. Like
Well, it's comparable to a Plus.
It's about the same screen real estate as a Plus. Yeah.
then I'd probably just go for that.
You don't want the bigger one?
Or I would have. I don't know. I have to like.
Because I think I'm going to go for that one.
I'd
The
like.
current one is 5.8.
And it's 6.5.
That's the rumor.
If sure, I'd go for the 6.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go for that.
I think that's starting to approach.
Phablet.
No, not even that. It's starting to approach literally tablet, like mini tablet.
Well,
I have a couple of 7-inch tablets.
Oh yeah.
Like that's
But it's not-
really starting to approach it.
It's not 7-inch, isn't it? 7 point something usually.
I think-
7.9.
I think the iPad Mini is 7.9 inch.
Yeah. The iPad Mini is actually quite large, but I have like a test like app one for
But
from
also,
Samsung. It's 7
also
inches.
keep in mind though, the screen size is what 6.5. That there's going to be virtually no bezel around that. Like most of the front of that phone is going to be the screen.
Yeah.
So the phone is also going to be 6.5. Your 7.9 iPad mini is the screen, and then you have extra stuff around it.
Yeah.
So you have to keep that in
But
mind.
that would still be a big phone, though.
It's going to be a big phone, but
But it is nice about the iPhone 10. It has this essentially the screen size of a Plus in the form factor of a regular iPhone.
Because there's no bezel hardly.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Got that notch though.
The notch does take a big chunk out of it. That's why I say it's generally the same size. You do lose some screen real estate to the notch and the curved corners.
The curved corners, I think, is negligible.
I don't like it.
But well, I mean, it's the future, unfortunately.
no, they'll go back eventually.
Why would they go back? They didn't go back on small phones. Like you have like the Xperia Compact, and you have like some other stuff that are like small phones, but it's not like everyone just pulled out
There's some
of it.
bezel-less square phones though, with squared corners and squared screens.
Yeah,
Yeah, isn't the Razer phone squared?
yeah. No. I don't think that necessarily everybody's into the curved.
It's not the
corners.
most popular phone though.
Yeah, no. I don't think everyone's going to do the curved corners. I think LG G6 I think has regular corners. I don't know.
Everyone's getting that notch though.
Fuck.
All right, let's hop into some stories. First up, we got E3 2018 coming up. EA Play has their own announcement, and they just kind of described a little bit of what we're going to see. And it'll be taking place on June 9th, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. And EA says there will be gameplay reveals, big announcements from some of the biggest content creators in gaming. See, generic stuff. That really doesn't give us any hint of what they're going to show off. But we're probably going to see Battlefield.
I would assume although Battlefield had its own event.
This one's rumored but this one's it's coming up though. I don't think they're gonna have an event like 2 months before.
They're probably going to have Titanfall 3.
I don't think they're gonna have Titanfall 3.
Does anyone want that?
Probably, there's
There's
Titanfall,
people that play
Titanfall people.
But they
Titanfall
killed
people
that,
really like
though.
Titanfall.
They killed that one.
They didn't. What do you mean they killed it?
They placed it in between Battlefield and Star Wars.
No, their whole problem was
and
the
Call
whole
of
problem
Duty.
was they had 3 shooters on a 2-year cycle. Like that was, and they released the Battlefield 1 and Titanfall 2 within like a month, 2-month
Yeah,
span.
it was close.
If they do like a staggered like every 14 months release, they might get away with that.
It's weird how many shooters they have.
That's
Yeah.
very EA. It's kind of like the bro company. They got
Yeah.
shooters and sports.
So we were talking earlier how EA always kind of has like a boring section of sports and stuff. What do you want from their conference?
One more the Patriots marching band coming out. That was ridiculous.
Oh God.
I don't want that. I don't know if I want much from EA. I don't really play much EA. Like I play Battlefield.
I want a major step forward in the Star Wars game franchise.
See, I don't think you're
need
gonna
to
get
see
that.
something bigger.
They started
more concrete.
They started relatively small and safe with Battlefront. Battlefront people love the original Battlefront, so that was guaranteed to be a hit.
Did they love it?
Oh, people love the original too. They just did an update to the.
You're talking about. I thought you meant the first.
Not this Battlefront 2.
Not the new.
The original Battlefronts.
Yes.
People love those
Yeah,
ones.
I agree.
And so them coming out with the new Battlefront game, it was just instantly going to spend like print money. That was a safe bet for them.
Isn't it? Does the first of the new Battlefront look better than?
Yes. But here's my theory on this. Okay? So when you start a new IP, you have to make the entire design and make it all new, and you can spend time making it look nice. Right? Once you have all those assets made, there's no real reason to redo those assets. And so in the 2 years it's passed since the original Battlefront, our expectations of how games should look is altered.
I also feel like if I put those two games side by side, it's not that it doesn't look any better. I feel like the second one looks worse.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah. There
has to be comparison online.
There was a photorealism about the Tatooine environment in the first one.
Yeah.
I don't get that from any of the environments in the second one.
I would say the feel of Battlefront 2 is pretty bad.
Battlefront 2 plays like shit.
Because honestly, the first one felt like an actual battle. Like that was my first thing. Like when we did the demo,
The Hoth level was
battle.
amazing.
it was like holy fuck! Like
It
we're in a
sucks in this
war
one.
here.
Yeah.
And now it's just like all the maps. I don't even like Crate.
But yeah, there's not a map I like either, yeah.
I can't even really remember many maps like Crate. And there's a couple like standouts, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think Battlefront 2 did it. I don't
No,
think it's good.
they screwed it up somehow. I don't know why they did it.
But that goes back to, you said you want to see something big from Star Wars. I think that we're not going to see that. I think we're going to see monetization of Star Wars.
no, but they've been working on this new game for years now since they got the contract.
Yeah, but
We have to
isn't
see
this new game?
something
Wasn't
from
this
it.
new game torn down in order to make it more monetization friendly?
Yes, but we're still going to see something eventually from it.
No,
And
but
it's
no,
going-
no. But Adriano says he wants
Are
to see
we-
something bigger and better from Star
Yeah,
Wars.
but a monetization game would be bigger and better. Destiny is a big game, but it has monetization in it. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think that Destiny is monetized to the point of what EA wants to do with Star Wars.
It was
I
essentially
think
the
that
same what they did with Battlefront, though.
I would say Destiny is more DLC based. Yeah, there's your bright engrams and crap,
Yeah.
but I would say that this game is going to be possibly free DLC, like this new Star Wars game, possibly free DLC with like a real heavy monetization.
But if they're talking games as a service, that the examples we have are Destiny and The Division.
yeah,
Those both have microtransactions in them.
yeah,
So I imagine the Star Wars one would be something similar to that. Those are big games
no, yeah.
with a lot of story.
But don't you?
That's what Adriano wants.
Don't you find though that nowadays it's not really about? It's not like the game and then finding a place to put the monetization in it. It's more build the system for monetization and then fit a game mechanic in it. So it's like, all right, let's get a random lottery system going. All right, we'll call that a loot box, and that'll fit in the game because there's crates in a Star Wars universe.
I don't know.
I find that it's more like that when it comes to an EA title. I could be totally wrong.
But you think when they sit down and say, let's start off with how this makes money first.
I would say
and
that
then we
I would
design
say
a game
that's
around
question,
how to make money.
I would say that's question one at EA. I would honestly say that, and
But
that's
I don't think they do that. This is their first step.
that's total speculation, of course.
You still need a game to play.
But do you?
You're not going to hand over
no.
money for nothing.
Real easy. Can we come up with a monetization system for a division without having the division? Like
What?
take the division, strip out all of the themes. So strip out the city, strip out the name division, and strip out any of the lore. What do you have? A bunch of systems. Those are real easy, basic systems. There's a loot system, there's a gun system, there's numbers on the guns, and there's skins. Okay. I mean, there's a couple other things, but just briefly. So
Okay, but how's
they could do that because they've made games for so long. They can go in and they could say, okay, Star Wars, what do we want? Well, we know people like Darth Vader and the evil guys. Okay, let's get some skins. Okay, that's good. Let's sell those. Well, we need a premium currency. Okay, what do we need? We need this. I think you can start with that, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they start with.
I'm not saying you can't, but it's really kind of just semantics whether you start creating content to sell or just creating content for a game. You both things need content in the game.
No. You are right, and I'm totally speculating here. Totally speculating. I don't know whether EA is doing this, but I feel like either super early in the process or maybe even step one.
Well,
where
yes, every
they
company
start
wants to
talking-
know how this game's going to make money.
I would say, but think about this though. Think about Far Cry 5. Now I haven't beaten the game, but I would say that Far Cry 5's monetization was an
Useless.
afterthought. No, yeah, it was an
It's
afterthought.
useless.
But it was a game first, from what I can tell, a game first, and then they added the silver currency, and then they added live events. They didn't go, oh fuck, man, we really need a skin system. Okay, I got it. This is a cowboy game. People really they're gonna want the cowboy hat. Let's take the cowboy hats out and let's make them $7 a piece.
I
That sounds
think
good.
it's created in tandem, Matt. I don't think it's one or the other.
But do you like we were just talking about how
this is
Battlefront 2
this
didn't
is
make
like-
it. Do you know I find Battlefront 2 to be very cheap. Battlefront 2 was very, very I feel like I'm playing a system, I'm not playing a Star Wars game.
But it technically,
Meh.
it does technically have more content than the first game, though.
No, it does, but it's a system in which
I
you
think
can
I
repeat
think
the
I think I
content
think
in.
that's I think that's just an emphasis on Matt's point. Then
Yeah, you're literally
Yeah,
you're,
that's
you're,
just
you're
that-
no, but
reinforcing what I'm
they
saying.
still had to build a game, though.
No, it's you do. You literally say I want a loot box system. You're like, okay, how do you earn that? Oh, you start shooting ships. Oh, okay, well, what we'll do then is you shoot ships, and we can calculate as many ships as you kill. So what we'll do then is we'll figure out how many ships you shot down, and we'll give you challenges, which give you little tidbits, which give you a little of this, a little bit of that, to get these crates, to do this, to do that. It's a system. You don't even need the ship. Like all they have to say is ship. They don't have to say what the battle is in the
Yeah.
lore. They just have to say this is a space game.
Okay,
for
so
ships.
so why did they put a campaign in it?
The campaign was because people were screaming for that.
Okay,
I'm not saying that.
but like that campaign is nothing special. Like it's the most
you go.
bare
No, but-
bones strip.
but
First person, like, oh, we need a military shooter campaign, 6 hours. Okay, we're gonna take the basic formula of, bad guy gone good. Person has like a vendetta. climax of the story, and then resolution at the end. Like it's like most.
But
there you go.
every shooter has that campaign.
Yeah.
No, they do. But would you say Call of Duty is a game first, or would you say Call of Duty is a monetization system first?
Well, it's a game first, yeah.
It's a game first. Would you say Battlefront 2 is a game first?
I don't know.
Well, the very fact that you don't know, but you know that COD is a game first is already is starting to go on my side.
Yeah,
I'm not disagreeing.
EA is making a system.
I'm not disagreeing. I don't.
Look at their sports games.
I don't think it means that much.
Look at their sports games. They have Ultimate Team on all their sports games. What do they do? How do we sell things? Okay, all right, we got fantasy sports. I got fantasy sports. Okay, I got it. Let's sell cards. Let's have card packs. Let's have the card packs are basically loot boxes. Okay, we got this. The players are going to be in the cards, and let's make people make an Ultimate Team with the cards. And then what we'll do is we'll apply that, and we'll have each of the cards be a roster, and the categories will be the different sports. And then they go, okay, so NBA will have an Ultimate Team, so will NFL.
Okay, so
will NHL. And what we'll do is we'll have this same system, but it'll be a different roster. See, they made the system, and then they applied the game to it. They applied the lore.
So does Battlefield feel like a system to you?
No, I would say Battlefield does not, because I think DICE cares specifically. I think DICE cares quite a bit.
Didn't DICE make the second Battlefront?
Yes, yeah. But this was particularly a standout, I would say. Like I'd say this is like a particularly bad example. Like this is definitely an outlier. This is a big one.
I don't disagree with you that they're working monetization into everything in the game, but I think they're doing it after the fact. I think they're creating a game and saying this is where we can apply money. It's not like we need a system that only makes the money and we'll apply the game on top of that.
I think
it's where in this game can we put the money in?
No, I struggle believing,
because the developer is the ones who come up with the idea. Okay,
yeah,
they come up with the story, the game, how it's going to work.
Yes,
if it's a shooter, what's in the game.
In this case,
and then you got the guys in suits who come in and say, okay, we're going to have costumes. They're going to be like $5 per costume pack. But the costumes were already in the game.
That makes sense in the Far Cry sense, where it's like the developers, as far as we know, the developers came up with the outfits, the guns, the skins for the guns, the different types of guns, and the vehicles.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And then the guys with the suits come in and say, we want live events, we want this kind of be games as a servicey, we do whatever. But it's not baked into the basic. Like, none of those missions are like, well, can't try again for another 20 minutes unless you pay 12 silver. Like,
see, I don't know if Battlefront is like that.
What do you mean you don't know if Battlefront's not like that?
I don't feel what you're saying, what you're describing.
There's crafting materials. It was super grindy in the beginning, and all they did was tweak the number back. Yeah, they have a system ready. This is total speculation. Total speculation.
I'd also like to point out that this conversation about Battlefront and Battlefield stemmed off the EA E3 story. I haven't tried. Is there a Battlefront story?
Yeah, you want to just cover that now? Just get that out
yet.
of the way here. Microtransactions are returning to Star Wars Battlefront 2 this week.
What are the details of those?
Surprise, surprise.
So the revamped microtransaction system is the crystals are coming back, and the crystals are what you buy with real world money.
Okay.
And
all right. Okay. So far, I'm good. All right.
The crystals will strictly be used to unlock cosmetic skins.
Okay.
Skins
are purchasable by
crystals.
Like
emotes and voice lines?
Cosmetic skins at the moment. From what we've read so far, that's what we're at.
It just says skins.
Okay. So let's just say skins. Okay.
But it goes on to talk about personalization items.
Right. So eventually they'll probably add emotes and shit.
So in this
emotes are in the game right now.
Stop.
More emotes.
Yeah. They're adding 50 new personalization items to the game.
Okay.
So there'll be premium cosmetics. Premium cosmetics is what it is.
Can I buy any of those skins and any of those emotes with the non-crystal currency, just the credits?
Yes.
Okay.
But it'll be a bitch ton probably.
So it's just going to be different scaling. Can I get crystals in the game by any other method besides paying money for it?
As of right now, you can through challenges. Okay. I don't know what's happening after this update. And those challenges are set. Like, once you complete them, you can't unlock them again. It's not like the time challenges.
There you go.
These are the in-game set challenges.
You see what I'm saying, though? Look what we're doing here. We're analyzing a system to get currency.
I agree with you, but I just think it was after the fact.
There's a fucking Venomoth here.
Or I think it was in tandem, is what I'm saying.
I don't think that I have trouble because it's so in your face.
Here's what I find ridiculous. You're saying that people, a bunch of men in suits, get into a boardroom,
Okay.
and say we want to sell people skins, we want to sell people this, we want to sell people that, we want to sell people that, we want to sell people that. So we have a Star Wars title, so we're gonna put Star Wars on the top here.
Yeah.
These have skins, they have skins, that has skins.
Yeah.
That just sounds ridiculous to me.
How is that? No.
What they do is, here we have a game, and then they look at what the game offers and say, okay, we can put money in here, we can add money in there, we can add money in there.
absolutely be correct, but the thing with the EA titles, is
I'm more inclined to agree with Matt on that one. It
Think
is
about-
way more likely
There you go.
that they've just taken the existing loop, like they made a monetary system and being like, how can we implement this with a IP that we own? One of the most popular IPs we have.
Yeah.
and they have licensed stuff.
I
man.
can absolutely see them going system and then game, not game and then system.
But you need the game first. Is what I'm
No,
saying.
you don't.
No, you don't.
They have
Yes, you
the
do.
No,
license.
you don't.
They have the license.
If they
How do you monetize
this,
something that doesn't
if
exist?
this,
They have a
if
license.
This
It does exist.
If they already have the system in another game, let's say Battlefield, they have the system there. It's like we're literally just going to take Battlefield out
but
and
how
we're just
is
going to
that-
replace it with Star Wars.
How is that different from any other company?
No. What I'm saying.
What is EA doing that's different from any other company?
What I'm speculating is this. This is what they do. They go and they look, like Adriano said, they're either borrowing a system, but what they're doing is they already. You say it doesn't exist. It does exist. What do they want to do? All right. Well, we have the license to Star Wars. Okay. EA has the license to Star Wars. Does Star Wars exist? Yes. What exists in Star Wars? Well, there's literal Star Wars. Okay. We're gonna make a battle game because there's battles. Okay. There's the table. All right. How do we monetize this? Well, let's look at what people like in Star Wars. Well, people like different skins. People like different cosmetic items. People like different characters. What do they like? They really like Darth Vader and the evil guys. Okay, well, let's raise the price of that. Okay, that's good. All right, we then see how the game's starting to be built upon the system of
But
what are we selling from the license?
What
the
is
same
that
with
different?
Ultimate Team.
How you think some point down the line in the Far Cry development, all of a sudden they came into the door and said we want to put microtransactions? Or
Yeah,
do
I
you
would
think
say-
from the beginning, from day one, they said there's going to be microtransactions in this game?
I wouldn't be surprised if that was said, but it wasn't added in.
I absolutely agree with you on that. But like the little that I've seen from Far Cry, it feels like Far Cry was made as a game first, and then they just had to like
They tacked it on.
Yeah, they literally just sprinkled
but
those
Far Cry-
microtransactions over
but-
the.
Why didn't they microtransact the shit out of
Far Cry is
Arcade?
mainly a single player game.
Okay.
Star Wars is mainly, I know they tacked on a single player story.
Yeah.
It is mainly a multiplayer game. What else do you do to sell stuff to people, to multiplayer players?
Why didn't they take Far Cry and not and make the campaign shorter and cheaper? And why
Because
did
it has always been a single player game.
doesn't matter?
It
That
does.
doesn't matter if monetization comes first. Battlefront was always about the battle. You know what we talk about every time we play Battlefront? We never go, "Oh man, I really want to play on Crater. Oh man, I really want to do that Death Star battle." I don't even know what the fucking maps are hardly. With a few standouts aside, I literally go, "I really need to kill people. What game mode am I going to play to kill people fastest to finish this challenge?" I'm literally playing a system. I don't even care what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even care. In Battlefield, I always want to play operations because it's a big grand battle.
Yeah.
It's not a big grand fucking loot box. I don't care. We only look for challenges in Battlefront. That's the only time we play it. I never
It's just
say
not a
I
fun
want
game, really.
Yeah,
because it's a system.
Yeah, most of the time when you like in the group chat or whatever, you're like, oh, there's the new challenge out for like the Han outfit or Leia outfit. What is the emoji that I put in?
Yeah.
It's just like the exhausted face. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
I gotta go do this again.
And you guys talk about the fastest way to get it done, and then you guys figure it out, and then I go and do that, but I don't go like, oh man, I really want to play Starfighter Assault.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do that. I go, oh man, what's the quickest way? Oh, we got to play Blast. Okay, I guess I'm playing Blast.
yeah.
I don't care what I'm doing because I'm playing a
Guess-
system to get the numbers.
Guess what I did just before Overwatch
Hmm.
updated? I deleted Battlefront 2.
There
Did you
go.
really?
Yeah, but I didn't delete it because I'm done with it. I do intend on reinstalling it. It's
But
just
there's a barrier now, though. Will you have the desire to reinstall it?
yes, mainly because I want to see if they fix it. Because you want to know why? I have 20 unopened crates.
Oh my god!
So I need to
dude.
install that to go open them. I had to uninstall because I didn't have enough space to
Update Overwatch.
update the Overwatch.
There you go.
All right. We got other dates here for E3.
And if you notice, Ryan, if you go to the join calendar,
They're in there.
I put the E3.
Oh, look at
thing.
this guy. He's
They're
all
already-
organized.
Already in there.
Microsoft's on June 10th at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, and Bethesda's at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 Eastern.
Oh my god, it's such a. I hope there's another one in there. That's a gap.
Well, no, if you start at, I guess it is, yeah.
Yeah, that's a
They're-
4-hour
they're-
gap.
they're about
It
2
is
hours,
a gap,
though.
but I don't think there's much crossover. I think Bethesda fans are pretty big Bethesda fans. I don't think they play much.
But the conference itself is
Other
like
stuff.
is going to be like around hour and a half to 2 hours.
For which one? Microsoft is going to be an hour and a half. The
Do they always do an hour and a half?
the console manufacturer conferences are always 90 minutes. The developer conferences are always an hour.
Okay, so if Bethesda's or if Microsoft's an hour and a half, that takes us to 5:30. So yeah, you got to wait till 9:30.
Yeah,
Yeah. I always
big
remember
gap.
the Sony one is usually the longest wait.
I guess we'll
'cause
be
you
playing a
gotta-
lot of Fortnite.
watching the Sony one at 9 p.m. like Eastern usually. It's ridiculous.
Although this time I'm pretty like I don't usually get really excited for a Sony one. I like their presentation, but I don't know. I just don't get really excited with them.
We don't play any of their games.
Yeah, see, there you go. Yeah, I just don't care. But I'm always really excited for Bethesda, so we'll see.
Yeah. I wish I like them all being on one day. I like the big Monday they had, where like they had like 4 conferences on Monday.
Now it's like a big Sunday, right?
Well, no, Sunday there's only 2.
Yeah,
So far.
Saturday is EA,
yeah.
and then you have
So Nintendo Direct is going to be on Tuesday morning. It's going to be like 10 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be released. Ubisoft and PlayStation's is going to be on the Monday. I can tell you that right now. And then there's one missing, I think. EA, Bethesda, Microsoft, PlayStation. It's going to be a Square Enix one.
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft's going to be on Monday. Sony and Ubisoft are going to be on Monday. Square Enix could be anywhere. Because who the fuck cares about?
and Nintendo.
Jesus.
Nintendo doesn't really do E3
They're gonna
anymore,
they're gonna
right?
do the direct on the Tuesday.
Yeah.
They're gonna be the last thing we see.
It's weird
I
that
feel
they,
there's another one.
it's weird that they stopped the conferences. The Nintendo's.
Yeah, it's like we don't do conferences, but we have this video of a conference.
Probably because it cost them too much money.
Yeah, but
Because
and
this was during the Wii U era.
Yeah, the
when they
Wii U.
weren't making much money. They still had a huge cash log from the Wii, but they weren't making much money.
That's gotta be a scary time where you're like, holy fuck! Like,
Yeah. So
the amount of money we have is not obtainable at this time. Like,
So I kind of wish they would bring back the conferences, but because I never watched the directs.
yeah, I don't watch those.
I
things.
watched the E3 direct.
I'm sure the Nintendo fans do, but I have no desire to go watch the Nintendo Direct. I just learned about it afterwards. Although I watched the didn't they do a conference for the Switch? Their own conference. It wasn't an E3. It was like their own thing, their own announcement.
That I don't know.
I don't remember.
I watched it down here. I remember. All right, Fortnite. Some players, loved ones wanted banned.
Okay.
As didn't we had this before with Fallout?
Now I think
Something like that?
I think this is in jest, though. I think people are just doing this as a joke. I don't think it's real.
Or is it just like one of those classic things where it's like something's really big, so there has to be a group of people that hate it so much they want it banned?
But here's the thing: it's only 730 signatures on change.org. That's not much compared to the millions of people who play Fortnite.
That's true. Yeah, it's not.
You know,
it's not
so
much.
I'm not sure if this is anything to really write up about.
I don't know if Fortnite is super addicting like that. Like, are people really putting? Because
Well, any big game like this,
but people are getting to the John Wick status, which is approximately level 100. Oh, actually, it is a level 100. I've confirmed it now. Tier level 100, whatever the hell it is. Yeah, it's tier 100 for this season, for season 3.
yeah.
God, that's confusing with the tiers and everything. Anyway, I'm still new to the game, obviously, but I'm level 22 or 23, and I've played it for four nights or so, something like that. And I played it like quite a bit on those nights. But realistically speaking, that season is on for quite a long time. So if I was a casual player, I think I could reach, especially if I had the battle pass.
Yeah.
I think I could easily reach level 100. So like those John Wicks, not like unless they get them super early in the season, I don't think necessarily have played a ridiculous amount.
Plus, I don't know how much I really credit. When's the last time you heard about something being taken down from a petition?
I don't know if I can think of one off the top of my head. So there's
I
that.
can't either.
So
There
I
is
don't know
that.
why people do this.
I think it's just it's either like you said, it's either a jest, like a joke, or it's like somebody is just really mad.
What was funny was The Last Jedi, because that was hugely controversial among Star Wars fans. And one guy made like a petition to get it removed from the Star Wars canon, and for Disney to reshoot the movie.
Reshoot which movie?
The Last Jedi, which is ridiculous. This is a $200 million budgeted film
Probably more.
that took them 3 years to make. You know, they're not going to reshoot that, no matter how many signatures that you get. And the movie still made $1 billion.
I think people go a little bit too ham with stuff.
Isn't it the weakest box office return for a Star Wars movie?
Either like that, or it had the quickest drop off. I think it was the number.
Because the personal reviews of like you telling your peers whether they should go see it, was probably more negative.
Although I saw
also Battlefront 2 controversy probably didn't help.
Yeah, that's true too. That's true.
But I saw that people are watching the movie now that it's out on home release, and people are changing their personal reviews of it. It is better the second time.
I think people go too ham though. Like just because you didn't like a few of the parts, like I don't necessarily really.
I didn't like
the
a
last-
lot of the parts.
Yeah, but you're not like raging and going on change.org and
No, because I don't care anymore. It's like I have way bigger problems in my life that I need to deal with besides a shitty. Like I've had shitty Star Wars movies before. Like I can deal with another one. It does make me question the Star Wars franchise as a whole now, because now I think I said this before, but there are now more Star Wars movies I don't like than there are Star Wars movies I do like.
This is just the Terminator effect.
Yeah, so does this mean that I don't like Star Wars anymore?
Well, no, because you can like them individually. No one says you have to like the whole thing as a whole.
No, but he makes a good point. It's like the Terminator thing where it's like the first 2 are really good. Salvation's passable. 3 is like eh.
But you can
and then
you
like
can also,
and then it's bad after.
But with Terminator, you can also like the idea of the franchise.
Yeah, I think that's more or less
which was
what
established
we get into.
in the first 2 movies.
That's true.
And I want to see it return to something of that quality. Same with Star Wars. And to me, I really like Force Awakens, and I'm not really a huge Star Wars fan. Force Awakens is fantastic.
Yeah, Force Awakens is really good.
I did not like Rogue
The last
One.
good Star Wars movie.
I don't like Rogue One. I don't like.
I liked
Jedi.
I like Rogue One coming out of it just for the adrenaline rush and like the nostalgic feeling that it gave me for A New Hope.
I really like the space battle.
It felt like an old Star Wars movie, but the more I thought about it, the more I hated it.
Are you about to enter spoiler territory?
But for Rogue One?
I thought you were going to say that you're about to look like you were about to say a comment, and I was like, you're going to do a spoiler.
No. It's just on a production level, Rogue One was beautifully executed on a plot and directing level.
Yeah, like I just didn't care for
characters. Any of the characters.
Care for the character. I think that was it. Like I was going to say the environment, but I liked the environment.
If it had good characters, it would have been a good film, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
But like Jin was just so dull and bland. You know,
it was almost like they were trying to do dystopian
Star
Wars, and it was like
their main 2 characters were just these bland people.
Yeah, I didn't give a fuck whether either of them died, like whether somebody shot them or what. Like I don't give a fuck. Like they were that useless. Like literally, they could have introduced the character, shot them, and have been like, "Oh, that was the main character." Like we literally wouldn't have cared.
So I think that would. I'm confused why they did it so dark like that. You know. I don't know. Anyway,
I feel like they're trying to. I think a lot of these directors like the dystopian. I don't think they like the bouncy, happy.
We're still in that post Batman Begins era.
Christ,
where people think that these dark, gritty films are what people want, and really, the only ones who really successfully did it were the Dark Knight series.
I would say John Wick is a good one.
John
Wick's motivation is and intro to his movies are pretty dark.
Yeah. Okay.
And his constant like callback to his dark past.
But see, my problem with the DC films is like they're still trying to capture that Dark Knight trilogy vibe, which was evidenced by the first 2 movies they did, Man of Steel and BVS. They were still dark films, and they tried to retcon Justice League and Suicide Squad, but they still have this dark overtone. But they tried to change it and make it happier, and so it just made this nasty feeling movies.
I'm wondering whether the issue lies in, and this is getting real off topic now, but I wonder if the issue lies in it's not so much the fact that, like, I think your story can be dystopian, but I think that your action parts need to just be that. You don't need dystopian action. Like that's what John Wick kind of shows. Is like John Wick is very much an action film, but in his moments where there's story and he's talking to people, or in the intro when there's like that big build up to what he's doing in the movie, there's like that dystopian feeling and setting. But like I feel like the world around him isn't dystopian. It's his world that's dystopian. His story's dystopian.
Plus that movie has fun with itself too. It's not just this dark, bland thing.
There's breaks in it for sure.
The main villain in the first one is hysterical. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's a funny character.
Same with his brother in the second one, where he's just like scared listening to all the cars and shit.
Like, the movie knows what it is, and that's the best part of it. You know, it's not trying to be something else. It's just being a crazy action movie.
Yeah, like it's not trying to make the like. It's not like he's making very disturbing comments while he's killing people to make it seem like he's grittier and he wants to kill them and like
Yeah.
he just says I'm going to kill you and then he goes and does it.
Let's hope they don't screw it up with the third.
I don't think
they made it past the first trial, which is making a good sequel.
I think the second one's better than the first.
They could screw it up with the third.
I don't think they're gonna.
They could.
I'm giving them a big old no that they're gonna screw it up.
Name a perfect trilogy of movies. Maybe Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings is pretty good.
Maybe I just had it. Maybe
The Hobbit.
Maybe Indiana Jones.
Especially the second one.
And Star Wars, I guess. Original trilogy.
There you go. He's naming a bunch of them.
Name another one who stuck the lane. But people's least favorite Star Wars.
No, one second here. What about the first 3 Die Hards?
No.
You don't like the other ones?
Die Hard 2 is forgettable. And looking back at Die Hard 3, it's not a very good film.
Die Hard 3 is the one with Samuel Jackson, right?
Yeah, I really like that one.
I like that one because Bruce Willis and Samuel Jackson, they had a good chemistry on screen together.
Oh, yeah.
Like when they were yelling at each other back and forth, it was very entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
And two is better than the first one.
That's a lie.
That is absolutely the truth.
2 is such a forgettable film.
2 is way better than the first film. You can quote me on that now.
We're not going to get into that debate, but no one agrees with you, Matt.
Except for everybody.
No, and nobody's going to disagree with me on this. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom is the best Indiana Jones movie.
The worst movie?
I'm moving on here.
It's fucking high.
Whoa! Again, is that a dystopian undertone?
That first Indiana Jones movie is fantastic.
Okay, my problem with it is an obvious problem that everyone already knows about is Indiana Jones does not matter in that movie.
That's not the point, though.
Okay?
It's simply the journey.
You could completely
doesn't matter.
You could completely take him out of that movie, and everything would have happened. They all would have had their faces melted, and that's it.
Would they have found the actual location though? Because he was the one who found it with the staff.
Even better. Then it just would have stayed hidden in history.
But he wants to find it.
So but you just said a major plot altering thing that Indiana Jones did. Like you were like, oh, it would have been remained hidden. The main point was to find it, and he found it.
Where did he get the staff from?
I forget where he got the staff.
All those movies are forgettable in my opinion. I don't really know if I like it.
Oh my god, no! Temple of Doom is so fucking good.
I don't know if I like that Indiana Jones that much. I think I'm out on the Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones as a character is fantastic.
I think I'm out on Indiana Jones in general. I think.
No, you can't be.
I can't be.
Damn you and damn Marty. He doesn't like Indiana Jones that much either.
I've went back and watched Temple of Doom and I watched fucking Ark and I don't like it. I think
we need to get Marty. I think we need to sit down and watch, analyze Temple of Doom.
And it'll put us all to sleep.
They're classic adventure films.
It
so
has one
fun.
It has one of the best fucking opening numbers. And like,
okay, that's a bit ridiculous. That whole sequence.
It's so over the top. It's so good.
All right.
Can we get Marty and watch Temple of Doom?
Probably.
I'm gonna message him
right now. He's gonna just put him on the spot. You gotta come over right now.
Let's just watch them all.
Not sure. Yeah. Not Kingdom of the Crystal.
No, not that one.
No. If we commit to Indiana Jones, we're watching Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
No.
We can watch it, Matt, but we don't have to watch it.
No, Adriano has to do it. If we have to sit through the shit that is Temple of Doom,
fine. I can sit through shit. I can do this. If we
bought Suicide Squad and Justice League.
Yeah, that's true.
Twice.
Yeah.
2 different
or
versions.
BBS, I mean, yeah. Are you gonna buy Justice League or no? No, there's no special edition. Right?
No.
Damn, that would be great.
Is there a special edition for Wonder Woman?
Not that I've seen. But that's a good film.
I already forget which
that's
order.
a film you should own.
I already forget though. Which one came first, Wonder Woman or Justice League?
Wonder Woman.
Okay. I already forget the fucking order.
If you notice in all the marketing, she's at the front because she's the only best-selling one.
Jesus Christ.
They even did that with the Injustice 2 cover. They kind of took Batman and Superman and really shrunk them down. I think it's Flash and her. It might be Flash.
But even aesthetically, like it makes more sense to have a woman with 2 men behind her. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Instead of having kind of staggered, like just in terms of design.
Yeah.
You know what? Here's a random thing that just popped in my head. What if Wonder Woman was good, like in terms of the dystopian part, because it was in the war, which was
Supposed to be gritty.
dystopian, and Gotham in the Dark Knight series is also supposed to be
It
dystopian.
fits, I guess, that genre, right?
But if you try to take dystopia, I don't really know if that's a word,
dystopia,
but if you take dystopia to like New York City or to wherever else, it's like, why is this so? What's going on here? What's that fog? Like, get that out of there.
Well, yeah, because I always picture like Metropolis too as being kind of a little nicer.
I always thought it was supposed to be like happy-go-lucky. It's all crazy until something blows up. You know.
It is. Metropolis is supposed to be to like nice New York, as Gotham is supposed to be to ghetto Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
That's the comparison.
In the comics, they're not separated by like a little island, right?
Oh God, no, they're like
really
they're like
far,
states
right?
apart. Yeah.
Why did they? What did they do?
It's like
Because you need the egg timer. They couldn't afford anything else.
Oh God, that's such a dumb part. And the only thing that makes it worse is a stupid wig.
Fucking got it from fucking Dollarama. For
Oh
Christ's
God, it's
sake.
such a bad fucking wig.
I think that guy should just remain as Zuckerberg and call it right there.
No, it's very clear that he's trying to be like he's trying to take like a Heath Ledger approach to Lex.
He's not that kind of actor, though.
No, he's not. He's not an actor at all.
Well, no, I like him in some stuff, but he's not. He's not that.
There's actually very few things.
He can't change himself enough to be like that. Do you know what I mean? Like Heath Ledger, that's unrecognizable as Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
He's completely the Joker.
Yeah.
I don't know if what's his name can do that.
Yeah. I don't
No,
think
he's
so.
just like I said. He's always the Zuck.
He's always Zuck. Yeah. How do you feel about this? Okay, so the previous Indiana Jones, Kingdom of Crystal Skull, I think took place in 1950.
It took almost in the 60s. It's like 50, 58 or 59.
I think it's 58.
Right.
It's been around like 10 years since that movie. I think.
2007 or 2008 it came out. So
this next movie, if they're sticking with the same timeline as our world, this next movie will be in 1968.
It actually should be longer because it's going to come out in 2020. So it should actually be
there you go.
1970.
There we go. Isn't that weird for Indiana Jones to
Yeah.
be in the 1970s?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm a big fan of the 70s, but I don't know if I want Indiana Jones.
Honestly, they should just reboot it
They're going to afterwards.
and put Chris Pratt as Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
I don't think Chris Pratt.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah,
no.
I can
I
see
think he
that.
could bring a little bit more lightheartedness
Yeah.
to the Indiana Jones series. I agree with that.
Do you want more lightheartedness?
Yeah.
Well, that's what they tried to do with Kingdom of Crystal Skull.
But his character in but with aliens and a dumb chase through the
swinging with
freaking
monkeys.
jungles. Fuck.
I don't know. Yeah, I could see Chris Pratt being Indiana Jones.
I don't like that at all.
You can tell us a scene or a movie is bad when my dad questions it. When we were watching that scene in the jungle, it was about 5 minutes.
When he was swinging with the monkeys.
When he's swinging the monkeys and they had those big machines, he was like about halfway through. He's like, "How fucking big is this jungle?" Because they were going for a rip,
Yeah.
through that jungle. And he's like, "This is just dumb." And if he makes a comment,
Well, jungles are pretty big.
but if he makes a comment like live, that movie is bad.
See, that movie has pieces that work, but it's all the dumb pieces that get in the way.
Like the aliens.
Like the aliens.
like
his son.
No, here's the yeah. Well, the sun part.
You know what? I
But here's
actually
the
didn't
thing, though.
mind. I didn't mind the sun part.
No, he was Shia LaBeouf was horrible.
Yeah, no, he wasn't very good. But like, here's the thing though. Like when you just talk about the aliens, it's like okay, there's aliens in this movie, but there's a fucking immortal knight taking ownership of the last cup of Christ in the other one. Before that, there was a guy who could literally rip out people's hearts.
My problem is
Before
not
that, it
the-
was a chest that could melt people's face. So it's like
My problem was not the supernatural element of it. It was just how they handled it. It was stupid seeing a flying saucer take off into the air. It was stupid seeing this alien and like doing this weird thing while the thing was spinning.
that was fucking dumb.
Like it was just dumb how they handled it.
What they should have did is literally had it be like it opens a tomb and you see like a skeleton and it was like a dead alien and that was the god that like had died.
Something
and
as
it's like
simple as
holy
that
fuck,
would've
there's
been fine.
aliens.
Yeah.
And that would have been it. That would have been it. That's fair enough. Hey,
I
whoa,
don't need
you
to
know?
see them. Yeah.
I don't need to see a ship. I don't need to see the alien walking around. I just need to see, whoa, that's a fucking alien skeleton, and that's the end of that.
But anyway,
It's disappointing because when that trailer first came out, they showed like the warehouse chase scene, and like that warehouse chase scene is the only part that kind of feels like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that one's okay.
Especially when he tries to jump for the truck and he misses and he flies back into the truck before, and he's just like, damn, I thought that was closer. And he just like starts punching up the guys. I'm like, yeah, that's Indiana Jones. Like that's it. But then after that, it just kind of goes down the fucking toilet.
Yeah. Let's see what they do in 2020 then.
Christ.
With old ass Indiana Jones.
Real old.
I have a feeling they're gonna work Sean Connery back in and somehow bring his dad
Is
back.
he still acting?
I think so.
He's dead. That was the dumb thing. He was dead.
He was dead,
and then he was supposed to be alive, but he's dead.
Yeah,
What?
He drank from the cup of Christ, which is supposed to give you longer life. You need to keep drinking from it, but I thought it would at least extend your life.
No, he died.
He just died. Yeah.
Him and
I don't
Marcus.
remember that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't remember that. Probably because those movies are all forgettable.
Temple of Doom. Let's move on.
PS5 rumors are now spreading.
Oh, God. Get your dollars out, folks. Get your dollars out.
A new report from Kotaku says that people are saying the PlayStation 5 is coming out in 2020. Just in time for the Indiana Jones movie.
The rumor also said something about the library not moving over, right?
So that was a misprint, apparently.
That was a
The original.
How do you misprint that?
The original report does not mention anything about the PS4 games working on a PS5. It mentions how PS3 games did not work on PS4.
Oh.
So people are extrapolating that.
Well,
but there's no mention of that anymore.
Well, here's a question. Why is it that now, and I'm in this boat as well, why is it that now we want our library to continue?
Because the
We're sick and tired of buying games more than once.
the digital marketplace has changed.
Yeah.
My music will transfer to my next phone.
So
my
you think it's
movies
just the digital
will transfer
part?
to my next phone. My book purchases will transfer to my phone. My apps transfer to my next phone.
But you think it's just the digital part?
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know. I don't have an opinion. I'm just.
I wouldn't be surprised if the next console doesn't have a disk drive.
See that's interesting. See when I first heard like you mentioned the rumor to me, I was thinking maybe they mean console or CD games like on disc. Like maybe it's like, oh, we don't have a disc drive, sorry, but if you have any digital stuff, bring that on over.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, for the most part, I'm not going to be playing too many PS4 games, but
And I'm sure they have the numbers of how many people are buying the box games or buying digital.
that's true.
And I've switched to digital now. I'm not buying another.
Well, like
another
I
game.
think that they're ready to pull the plug on because I remember you said it,
I'm
John,
still
that they
buying
need,
discs.
well, they said that they need the floor space on at the retailers. I think they're ready to pull the plug and sell it on Amazon.
Yeah.
I don't think you need it on anything else. I don't.
Even Best Buy. Best Buy doesn't care. They'll sell the console regardless.
No.
Yeah, Best Buy doesn't give a fuck. Best Buy needs money, man, because they're starting to die. Like that type of store in general is starting to die.
I don't know. Though you might piss off a retailer to the point.
It's not retailer to the
but
point where they're going
why-
to give up millions of dollars when their business is threatened in general.
I don't think the stores have as much control as they once did.
Yeah, they once did have that. I agree with you there. I think they've lost it in probably the last 5 to 10 years, I'd say.
Yeah, okay.
Because
All
look
right,
at
you
Toys R Us.
straight me.
Toys R Us is dead.
Yeah,
It's dead.
For Toys R Us, yeah.
That's real sad.
Now, Matt,
actually.
you had an issue, though, with the PS5 coming out this soon, even though it's not that soon when you compare it to the launch of the PS4.
I've revised my opinion. I was thinking about this actually because I was pretty mad with the time.
Yeah.
I think that I would be. I don't know how exactly this would work. I think I'm more okay with it if the library continues. Hopefully, the disc library continues as well because I have quite a bit of discs. But at least the digital. But my thing is like I want to know exactly how they're going to handle the transition. Are there going to be games that only run on the PS5? Are there going to be some games in the beginning that run on both? And like PS5 is like some games eventually are going to start running only on the new one, so you better upgrade soon-ish. And so I'll wait until a game that I care about it only runs on PS5, and then I'll buy a PS5.
If I had to predict, it would probably be you buy a PS5 game and it only works on a PS5.
Probably.
But your PS4 games will work on a PS5.
I'm fine with that for sure.
Because they want to sell those consoles. They don't want to keep people on PS4.
See, this my issue in terms of just logistics, I guess, is I don't think we've reached the potential of the PS4. Look at the stuff we were pumping out. Look at the stuff at the launch of the Xbox 360 versus the end. That's such a large jump with such limited hardware. Look at the hardware we have now, and we're still getting games that are buggy as hell, server problems, and that.
Well,
and that's not necessarily the problem with the PS4.
The bugs aren't hardware.
No, that's not necessarily the
Unless
problem
it's
with
like
PS4.
frame rates can't
but
clearly
games
handle
haven't advanced.
Yeah.
They haven't advanced enough in general.
But
Like
I
even
think
if
the
it's not the
difference, though,
console's fault.
But the technology has advanced, though. I don't think.
What technology?
However, they make 3D games. Whatever they're doing to make 3D games look better.
Yeah.
Advanced more during the launch of the PS3 to its end.
Yeah.
Than it has from the PS4 to its end.
But if you look at a PS4 title today, launch title, it admittedly looks worse and plays worse, I would say generally, than a game. So there is an improvement. But the improvement isn't large enough. And the reason why I'm saying I don't think we've reached the potential is you get such a mix on PS4. You know, if you have a game, like 3 or 4 games released, let's say in 2017, 2018, right? Around the same era, you're getting games that look fucking amazing, games that look amazing and run like shit, games that look amazing and run really good, games that look like shit and run like shit. Like, you're getting such a smorgasbord because I don't think it's quite there.
You're forgetting that happened on the last generation, too.
No, it did, but I don't think it's quite to the point where at the end of the 360, for the most part, as from what I remember, and it's been a while, I think that we were getting more consistently, not completely, more consistently good-looking, good-running games. And we started having some technical problems due to the console limitation, and that's when you go, yep, we got to fucking change here. We got to get a new console in.
I think it might be a case of short-term memory.
People
tend to only remember the good things about the past than the bad things. The brain does this automatically. It tosses out the bad stuff. But and you only remember the good stuff.
What are we gonna get from a PS5? That's probably my main problem.
Probably true 4K gaming and not this watered down 4K gaming on PS4 Pro.
I don't think we're gonna get that.
Why not?
I don't think we're gonna get that for a second because the Xbox One X is so much more expensive and it does it, but I don't think it does it fully. Like I don't think it's still is it full? Like it's not. It's only full for some.
They say no. Well, they say true 4K.
But isn't that only on some titles?
Their first party titles mainly.
You see
well, I think even didn't even Forza have to take like it's not full.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I thought it was.
I can't remember now.
But
like the Xbox One X is such a large step up in terms of console hardware performance on a console.
Yeah.
And it's still not there.
No, but the reason why it's not there is because they have to develop the games to run on all iterations of that Xbox.
Right.
So the basic shitty Xbox release, the launch Xbox, the S, and then the X. They have to scale down those games. Like if they were to make a game just for the X,
I got you.
It would be fucking spectacular. It would be that advancement you want.
So you're limited by your weakest link.
Yes,
I got you. You're kind of tethered. In this case, you can have multiple patches. You're kind of tethered to it.
Yeah,
they give some freedom.
But they have to make sure like people like me who keep their launch systems can still play the games 7 years from now. When they would love it if I would have the latest PlayStation and the latest Xbox, because then they could exclusively make games that would maximize that fucking power.
Right.
I see. My issue with this is that another one is if we jump now. So like if we jump from 4 to 5, what are we getting? Like are we going to get to 5 and then 2 years later they're going to be like shit. Like we need a PS5 Pro.
Here's the thing though. Following that pattern, probably. Because with every generation, you're progressing less and less.
Technology is going to start to plateau.
It's already started to plateau.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
so by that logic, your console generations are going to get shorter and shorter. Like
I would say the console generations would get longer. And the software we monetized better.
No, I feel like it would go the other way around. How long from the PlayStation release to the PlayStation 2 release? How long from the PlayStation 2 release to the PlayStation 3 release? And so on and so forth.
But
if you were to plot that out, you'd probably see a curve.
But if technology is jumping, like PS2 to PS3, big fucking jump, right? Mm-hmm. But if you think about it, how long was the PS2 out for?
PS2?
PS2.
I want to say like 4 or 5 years, I think.
Okay, 5 years. So yeah, that was a relatively short amount of time.
I can check right now if you want.
Okay, well,
PS2 to PS3, you said?
PS2 to PS3. But
like PS2 launched in what, 2000?
2001.
I thought it was 1999.
No.
I'm pretty sure it was. I'm pretty sure it was 1999.
I think it was 2000.
Yeah.
March 4th, 2000.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Japan, October 26th, 2000 in North America.
Okay, so just PS2. 2000. Split the difference.
PS3 was what, 2006, 2005?
I thought it was 2007.
No, I don't know. Because 2007 was the second year in to that console generation.
All right, well, check. Because if you took a PS2 and you said
2006.
Okay, so you take a PS2, so it's what, 6 years? 6 years between the two.
When in 2006?
November.
Okay, we'll say it's really like 6.5. But
Okay, let's just for the sake of conversation, we'll say 6 years. If you took a PS2 and then they said, okay, we actually want a
Well, no, 6 October
yeah,
2000
but
to November.
But it was March.
it was March.
In Japan.
Okay, when
October
was
North America.
Still the same console though. It's the same console with regional stuff. Who cares? Power wise.
well, I'm looking at the earliest release of the PlayStation and the earliest release of the PlayStation 2 and the earliest release of the PlayStation 3. That's what I'm taking.
Right.
Okay, well, okay. For the sake of conversation, we have a 6-year period. If you said in that era, in 6 years, there's a big jump. PS2 to PS3, a big jump. Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. If you took that jump and they say we want a 3-year console lifetime, so half of the lifetime what the PS2 had, that would still be a huge jump. But what jump are we getting today? The only real jump we're seeing, I think, at the end user is the fucking resolution going up to 4K. That's it. And the TV upscales it.
That might not be it, though.
No, but what else is there?
There's other. You can add more particles. You can add more items. You can add more physics. You can add more lighting. That all takes.
But I don't
polygons.
think that the full console is being used yet.
But we don't know. We're not developers.
Yeah. I think you're right. I don't think the full console is being used.
And my problem is that if we go to 5, and if we go to 5, and let's say that the PS4 isn't being used fully, which we're not sure of, if it isn't, they're gonna use the 5 and they're gonna use like a little bit of the 5 and be like, oh man, we need a 5 Pro. This isn't good enough.
Mind you, this is in 2 years.
Yeah.
So you're complaining about this, thinking about it now.
I'm just saying
this is 2 years.
I don't think we've like I agreed with the launch of the Xbox One and PS4 because I believe those consoles were done. We started having severe menu lag and like we couldn't go into parties on PS3 and stuff. It was serious. Like
I almost feel like the PS4 and Xbox One were underbaked.
See, but PS5 is going to do the same thing. That's my problem.
Potentially, yeah.
Everything's going to be from here on out is going to be underbaked. Oh, it wasn't enough. Oh, it wasn't enough. Oh, it wasn't enough.
Well, it's just how it matches up with where we're at in terms of technology and cost.
But if we're plateauing,
I guess they couldn't afford, or they didn't want to launch a $500 system at the PS4 launch.
Okay.
To put a 4K chip in there. So they had to put a 1080 chip that could barely do 1080 60.
But now we're looking at getting away from 4K, aren't we? Looking at 8K now.
No one's seriously looking at 8K.
Well, we won't in 2 years when they start doing it, and then they'll release a 4K console and then be like, fuck, we don't need an 8K console
a little bit longer. Because like storage, you can't even you can barely stream 4K. Most people.
See the issue here? Like these things are half baked.
I agree.
Well, that's bullshit. That's garbage. You're constantly buying friggin' half baked consoles?
Man, console constantly fucking high.
The PS3 is technically half baked.
That's a fucking terrible
system. The PS3 has
it is one of the worst design systems.
No, but even the Xbox
360.
360 was half baked.
I don't believe that for a second.
I like the 360.
I think for the technology that was there, I think the 360 hit it perfect.
But 1080 was
other
available.
Than the technical problems. What?
1080 was available.
Yeah,
and games weren't making them at 1080, and so the PS3 had to come out, and the Xbox, PS4 and Xbox One had to come out.
They like in the middle of the generation had 360 and that had 1080p, right?
No, it was a very few games. It was like Call of Duty, and that was it.
See what I'm saying? Though I didn't even fucking notice.
I'm not saying you
what
didn't
am
notice.
I getting? What am I getting? What am I getting from PS5?
This is how they should do future console releases. Stop giving them numbers.
I agree with that.
Everything should just be the PlayStation or the Xbox or the Nintendo. You have just a hidden, like the hidden number at the end of our battle tag. You're going to have a hidden number at the end of each year. Like it's going to be the PlayStation 2018. It's going to be the PlayStation 2019. It's going to be the PlayStation 2020, so on and so forth. In that marketplace, in your digital marketplace, your store, every game available on the Sony Entertainment Network should be available to view. In that game's page, it should tell you whether or not your console can play it.
Yeah,
like, you want this game? Your console can't run it.
Yeah, it'll just the install button's like grayed out.
Yeah, just a little message. When you buy your next PlayStation console, come back and see if you can play this game. That's how you do it.
Yeah, add it to your wish list. Then when you buy a new console, it'll be like, these are the new games you could potentially.
Right now, when I boot up an app on the Apple iStore, it tells me whether or not my phone can run it.
No.
Yeah, see, that's that's interesting what you just said, the phone, because sometimes it'll say, unless the developer has hard coded it, I don't know about the Apple specifically, but some games like I was playing Pokemon Go on a G4, and that G4 ran it like shit, but it still ran it. So it's like I was saying to myself, "Fuck, I gotta update this." It's almost like the PC argument, but the console market's still more closed.
I would prefer a harder cutoff point. As bad as it sounds for consumers who wouldn't mind struggling through what you struggled through, but it's like as a creator of that content, I wouldn't want it running on something that would make it choppy and kill the battery.
But if the person isn't experiencing something wrong with the product they have, they're not going to upgrade necessarily. Or that's at least one of the big motivating factors. Yeah. Like they're going to look over and be like, "Oh, those games are okay," but as we said, technology is plateauing. So they're going to look and be like, "Oh, technology is plateauing. Those games look the same as these ones, but I can't play that one for some reason. That's stupid," and they won't upgrade.
But I wouldn't want my game to be seen running on a console and being all choppy and the frame rate dropping and crap like that.
No, but that's why you cover your ass and you say runs best on, and you rate the generation. If the person has the wrong thing, you're like, "Dude, that you're on the older generation. It's just running barely." It's the same. It's the same thing.
PC's been doing it for 20 years.
Yeah, with an old computer.
Yeah, I know. I understand
that. It's the same damn thing people have been doing.
Yeah.
So you're safe in doing that. You can say this runs best.
No,
on
you're
this.
safe in doing it. I'm saying me personally, I would not want my game to be running on a system that could not run it at the peak performance I want it to.
Well, here's a prime example. Someone's a mega fan. Let's use Fallout as an example. If Fallout ran like shit on the PlayStation, or no, Fallout 5. Let's say Fallout 5 is coming out. I play go on.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. Let's say it's coming out. It comes out on the PS4. It runs like absolute garbage, but it runs best on PS4 Pro. I'm gonna buy PS4 Pro. Done. You sold it to me.
It runs like garbage on the PlayStation.
On the PlayStation 4, but like they say runs best on PS4 Pro, and it runs bad on PS4 for whatever reason.
Yeah, but in that particular example, you have to ask yourself why. You can ask yourself, yes, it runs better on the PlayStation. It should be running better on a PS4 Pro. But why does it run like absolute garbage on a PS4?
Well, I'm talking
standard?
If we're in the world where
should
it's
still
like
be
the
running
phone.
moderately well.
Well, like if we're still in the era, if we're in the era of like what you said with the phones, where it's like you can run Pokemon Go on a shitty phone.
Yes, but one generation of a phone does not mean the difference between an app barely running and running amazingly well.
No, it does. It does for sure. Sometimes.
No,
I don't think so. No.
Thermal throttling on the generation where the G4 is absolutely ridiculous.
No,
Android's a different situation.
Yeah, no, like I have a 6S Plus. Ryan has a 7 Plus.
You guys have a closed system.
Yeah, but those would be closed systems. That's not.
That's fair. That's
yeah,
fair.
like that's not going to be like a PlayStation and an Xbox ecosystem is closer to our iPhones than it is your Android device.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So
literally, the only difference is how fast it loads the game, but it still can run the game.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. What is the appropriate time then for you, Matt?
I don't know.
To come out with a new console
I
generation?
think when we're done with it.
But how do we know when we're done?
Were you not done with the PS3? I was done with the 360 when it was done.
I'm not done with my fucking Nintendo guy or my Super Nintendo. I still play those.
No, but
I always like new hardware and stuff.
But were you saying that it was tired and done?
I remember watching it. I think it was the last E3 of like the last generation.
Yeah.
Right. And I remember saying to Marty, if games coming out now keep looking this good, we don't really need a next generation. Because I was looking at like The Last of Us and like Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Those games look fantastic on PS3.
Yeah.
And it's like if games keep looking like this, we don't need a new generation. I remember saying that.
Wouldn't that be a good indicator that you need that like you've hit the end of the
no,
road?
that's an indicator. I was saying it is an indicator that we don't need a new generation.
That you don't need a new generation
because developers were getting that much detail out of the PS3.
But see what I mean though? Doesn't it feel like there's wasted potential on the PS4? Like I think at that point, maybe like in your case, like you weren't saying let's get another generation, but like the fact that you were even saying that is such a jump from like look at like a launch title on the PS3. That is such a jump. It's so different. Far Cry 5 could have released.
Resistance looks like shit.
There you go.
Resistance looks like absolute fucking.
Far Cry 5 could have
garbage.
released literally day one on the PS4, and I wouldn't have batted an eye.
But Far Cry stopped caring about how their games look. I feel.
Well, I think it's because there's a shit ton of foliage. Like I think it's just way too much.
But I don't know. I remember them like having like tech demos showing off how good Far Cry 2 looked.
Far Cry 2 was serious about the details,
and then they just gave up on that after 3.
I would agree with that.
3 looks more colorful, but I'm not sure how much better it looks than 2.
I agree that 2 is the most detailed. Yeah. I agree with that. I think that I need to be like you were wowed. I would say that statement is you were wowed. I think you need to be wowed by like, holy fuck, the PS4 can do this. At that point, it's
I have
like
been though.
I think
You
I
have
think
been?
I
When?
think I think those,
Horizon Zero Dawn, one of the best looking games I've ever seen in my life.
I think it looks good. I don't think it's that fucking amazing.
Same.
It's-
And
isn't
it might be your Pro, it might be the TV you're playing on, but like it like I'm not, and I granted I haven't played it, but from what I've seen, it's like, yeah, it looks good, but it doesn't look any better than Tomb Raider, or it doesn't look any better than.
But Tomb Raider is
I
a
agree.
great looking game too, though.
There you go. You're not wowed by it.
See,
you need to be like, whoa, the PS4 can do this.
I think the jump then, or the wow factor you're looking for, is not necessarily in particle effects or graphics. I think it's more of a technical limitation, like how much of this building can be dismantled before the RAM fucking gives out, or how many
that's a good one.
or how many characters can be on screen together before, or how many corpses can I pile up before the RAM has to start removing these.
Yeah, stuff like that for
like
sure.
that, I think, is the jump you're looking for, not necessarily graphical. Because I do feel like, because here's the thing though, after a certain point, you can keep on adding polygons, but you will notice a difference between 4 polygons and 1,600 polygons in a character, but you're not going to notice the difference between 4 million polygons and 5 million polygons in a character.
Yeah,
like character models are still going to they've literally plateaued. Like you can't.
but I think you need to go back and look at launch titles for PS4.
Like
put them back in your console. Put Shadowfall back in your console.
God, I knew you were gonna fucking.
That was
say
a fantastic looking game when it launched. Okay, that was probably the best looking game that launched with that console.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I haven't seen it in since I played it, so I'd be curious to see how it looks now.
we'll bring up a screenshot or a video now.
You know what I would be wow? You know what would be a wow moment to me, and this is just off the top of my head. You know the vertibird in Fallout 4
Yeah.
when you hop in it and everything disappears and like the view distance goes to shit because the PlayStation's having trouble running it. If that ran at full view distance and looked super nice and you're able to like shoot at targets like really well and everything, and there was no performance, like you didn't see a graphic.
You're talking about Fallout 4?
Fallout 4, the graphics
Really?
when you get into vertibird, yeah, because the Bethesda engine. The Bethesda engine is not the most efficient, as far as I know.
It doesn't look like it, at least.
It doesn't look like it. Yeah, like I don't actually know. I'm not a game dev, but like that game, you get in a vertibird, and the vertibird like flies you out, and like the view distance starts to go to shit. All the textures go down. You can't really see much because it can't handle it. If that fucking ran perfect, that'd be like, Jesus, the PlayStation can run this. That's your plateau, and that's when it's like, okay, PlayStation 5. I think that's that type of stuff. That type of stuff, not necessarily that.
See, I find this odd though. You want to see the best the console can provide, and then think it's a good time to switch.
I don't. Yes, because I want to hit
like
that peak and be like, "Whoa, this thing is running to its absolute maximum."
But I feel like that's evidence that there's more life left in that console.
No, there isn't, because it's running at its max. I want to see it at its max. I want to see that thing run at as much as it can. Put as many characters and bodies or whatever the hell Adriana said on screen.
He wants all the bodies on there.
I want to see
Hitman style.
Yeah, like I want to see that thing run as much as it can, as well as it can, and if it runs well and a hell of a lot, then it starts to get to time where like a lot of devs start doing that, and then it's no longer a wow factor. Then it's like, okay, now time to switch.
I think it's hard to notice because I think it's more like what Adriano was saying. The changes are less noticeable because it's not visual upgrades.
That's true too. Yeah.
The same thing with the 4K, 8K, 12K resolution thing. As like our eyesight can see around 8K, so like at a certain point, us upping the resolution is not going to matter anymore.
Like even 1080p looks good for fuck's sake. Like 720p looks good.
I still go for 720 on a YouTube video. Be like, yeah, I'll compromise. That's a good streaming.
I'm all for having higher tech than what we can see. But I think that once you get to that point where at whatever distance, I can't see pixels on that TV, I think then that's when you could probably stop.
Because it's your freaking eye. Like, what are you going to do? Get a robotic eye so that you can see a better TV? Like,
yeah.
That's probably the next step.
Because right now it's just bragging rights with the smartphones with the higher pixel ratios. Mm-hmm. It's literally, unless you're doing like VR with it, but right now it's just kind of big dick measuring contest.
Yeah, I'd agree.
All right,
there you go.
That's
PS5.
it for this week.
Is it time?
I'm ready.
I'm not. I'm still on my.
I think you'd be ready a year in.
But see,
man,
you have a PS4 Pro.
My difference is I just want the best whatever's available.
Oh
man, I'm still working on PS3 and 360 stuff.
All right, see you guys.
Peace.